Welcome to the podcast for product engineers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Product Engineer by Pilot. So today the guests are me. My name is Sara, and with me it's
Adeola.
So we're going to start by introducing ourselves a little bit. So Adeola, please go ahead.
So my name is Adeola. I'm a senior product engineer at ePilot, and I work with the Rubik team, and it's in charge of like journeys, which are products for data collection, where we like companies can come on and like receive data from their customers, and then we help to facilitate the pipeline of that flow from like to wherever like the company needs to go. Yeah.
It's a website builder.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're selling it enough. Like it's literally like people can make like whole websites with it.
Really amazing forms. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the internet is basically just a giant form. My name is Sara. I'm also a senior product engineer here at Pilot. I'm on the Sigma team and mostly work on the messaging and entities. So like you have like 10,000 clients. I'm the one that makes the list and the tables with the clients. It's not as flashy, I would say, but we don't make a website builder. That one is definitely cooler. Yeah, right?
Yeah, like a lot of design and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure like you're doing amazing work too. So yeah, take your credit.
It's a lot of tables. Love me some tables, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So today we're here to talk about remote work. Most of the engineering team is definitely remote, so we have people everywhere. We're here to talk about a little bit of the struggles of it.
Yeah.
And so interesting fact, both me and Adeola work in the UK.
Yeah.
Neither of us are from the UK. Both of us moved there last year.
Yeah, we just found
after
out.
Brexit. We were like, this sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. And the UK is actually welcoming, so yeah, like it's fun. It's been fun, yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy living in the UK. Before that, I lived in Germany for 5 years. Not in Cologne, I lived in Berlin, and it's been really nice, actually. I like it.
Yeah, before that, I lived in Nigeria all my life. The UK was actually the first place that I moved to outside of Nigeria. So
that was the first place you traveled outside of Nigeria?
Yeah, I actually...
Oh, that must have been a shock.
Yeah, very big shock.
Did you land in Heathrow?
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people, a big queue. But yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah, get to experience like a lot of things for the first time.
Yeah.
So, and it was fun doing stuff with my partner too. So yeah. For your story, when did you start working remotely?
So I started working remotely back in 2018, so before the pandemic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it was like before a bunch of people had to start working remotely, so I think my case is a little different. So like when everyone started working remotely, I was already like doing it for like 2 years. I worked this is when I was living in Berlin, and I worked for a Dutch company. Yeah. So I was working fully remote for 2 years before the pandemic. Yeah. When did you start working remotely? Was it at ePilot?
No, it was, I'll say 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I was working for a company in Nigeria. Surprisingly, they have a product that's similar to ePilot. So there's also an online form builder too. So, but then like with the pandemic, we had to move offsite, everyone working from home. So I would say since 2020, I've only gone to the office like once, apart from just like maybe company events and stuff like that. So yeah. Since then.
So like it's very like I think I come to the office I'd say 2 times a year probably. I think it's so we have the Dev Summit and we have the Pilot Summit.
Yeah.
And those are the times that people try to come to the office. But besides that, like I don't think we really like unless there's a team event or something. But it's also really hard to make team events.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would say that like I think the first very important thing about remote work is that like a lot of people that started remote work in 2020 did not have a setup for remote work. So they were just like sitting on the couch, right?
Yeah.
Is this what happened to you? Like, how was your experience in 2020?
Yeah, I was just using like my MacBook, think about 13 inches. I didn't have like a second monitor, a first monitor. So just working in the room. I would say it was new, but then I think it was also glamorized, but then there was also like the fear of like, oh, big pandemic. So it was a lot of emotions at the same time. So,
yeah. So after that, like when you moved to the UK, did you get like an actual setup? Do you have like a chair now?
No. So yeah, I think later in the year I started like to get stuff. I think I even moved apartments, so it was easier to just get like a table, get a monitor, get like a laptop stand. So
when I started, it was just me and my laptop. Like, and I was living in Berlin, but like I didn't have any setup. And then I got like the cheapest IKEA stand.
Yeah.
Not stand, sorry, table.
Yeah.
And then I got 2 monitors. And the thing was that like I don't think I can go back to 1 monitor now. like just connecting it to one. So like a lot of people have one monitor, but it's really big, like a curved one. Is that what you have?
Yeah, I have the curved one, yeah.
I don't know why I'm that kind of person. I was like, I want 2 monitors. I want the division of labor. I think I'm just old.
Yeah, but how do you like keep your focus across? Are they like on 2 different sides of you, or they're joined together?
So they're like this. So one is on the right and one is on the left.
Yeah.
But basically, like what I tend to do is what I'm currently working on is on the left monitor. Sorry, I switched to left and right. I have a car license. It's very terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's on the left monitor. So what I'm coding, for example, is usually on the left monitor.
Yeah.
And for example, what I keep on my right monitor is Slack, the terminal, and like Figma. If I'm like copying from designs.
Yeah.
So that's what I tend to do is like this monitor is for stuff that's usually mostly static.
Yeah.
And this monitor is for stuff that I'm actually working on, which I guess people tend to do either way. If they have a very large monitor, you have to kind of split it, right? You can't just put everything in the center. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. I've never had one of those monitors.
Yeah, I think in my case, I use like my laptop as a different screen, but I don't work there.
Oh, so I don't use a laptop as a second screen. I close it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I only have 2.
So I guess in my case, then it sounds like 2.
Yeah, it's
two
the same
monitors.
idea. Yeah.
So I have like this monitor where I use like for webcam meetings, and I also keep like maybe Slack, Outlook on my personal laptop. Yeah. Then I switch, but then I work mostly on the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's nice to see everything big. So it's like sometimes I even like, let's say, enlarge like the websites, and it's always funny when I do it, especially like when I demo during our prog demos on Thursday. So I have to like really zoom in, or when I'm the first responder of the week, and I have to also zoom in on how Jira can be with the small cards, Kanban cards. So I have to really zoom in and stuff. Yeah. But how was remote working been for you from the beginning till now?
Okay, so honestly, like, I don't think I can imagine myself going to an office every day anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be honest, like, if there was, like, an optional office in London, I would probably go a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that there are definite drawbacks to working remotely, right? But, like, I think the benefits greatly outweigh the drawbacks.
Yeah.
But again, this is coming from someone who was already used to working remotely. I think it also depends on, like, what you're doing. Like, I think if you're a manager, for example, and you have to get into contact with a lot of people, I think it's much harder to work remotely. Yeah. But, like, as an engineer, you can just be like, no one is here. No one is talking to me. I can just refactor the state. And you can just do it. You can just refactor the state. No one can tell you not to because they're not there. No one is there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that, like, okay, there is the issue of, like, sometimes you just feel a little, like, a hobbit.
Yeah.
Like I try to leave the house at least one time a day, go for coffee, or just go to Tesco or go to somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's like it's very easy to just stay home for days on end and not actually leave, because especially like, at least for example in our case, like we can get everything delivered by Amazon. We don't technically need to leave the house for anything.
Yeah.
I would say very rarely do we actually need to leave the house. Of course, it's a terrible idea. You should go to your local shops.
Yeah,
but
interact with people.
Like, say hi, be weird, get out.
Yeah.
Make friends with your community.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that is the biggest drawback in my opinion, is like it can get really isolating sometimes. Like even if you don't live alone, like it's a very different thing than like having people around all the time. Like it gets harder to make friends as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has that been your experience as well?
Yeah, I think it's not always obvious, because like my wife and I work from home, but she goes in like once a week on Thursday. So, but then whenever she goes in, like it's just so obvious how quiet everywhere is. Like it's not obvious during the like on other days when she's around, but yeah, it's been like that for me too. I would say like when I was moving to the UK, one of the things that I really wanted to do was, because I'd been working, I think, 3 years remotely, fully remotely.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, okay, I want to have colleagues, I want to go in. But then when I started working remotely again, I'm like, oh shit, I need to stay. I love this. I can't do more than that. But then I guess like you said, it's the same thing. Like it gets like really isolating when you only know your colleagues online. Like you don't get to meet and interact with them.
Yeah.
Like for example, we're currently at like we do like Sarah said, we do like this summits, dev summits, these opportunities to meet our colleagues, but it's not the same. Like because for example last year when I met like my colleagues for the first, a lot of my colleagues for the first time, they're like, oh wow, you're so tall. I'm like, yeah, it's not obvious.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
You just see my picture and my face, and like most most time the video is on, it's not obvious at all. But then meeting people in person, talking to them, you get to learn more. You get to understand like how they think.
Yeah.
You get to like
there's less filter, right? When you
Yeah.
talk to someone in person, yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, the example you gave was also very good about like managers, for example. So you don't get to understand like someone's way of like working, their personality a lot online.
Yeah.
Because then if you don't jump on too many calls, it's hard to understand that okay, this is how this person likes to work, this is how this person interacts with other people. You can see a funny side to someone from their body language, the way they talk,
Yeah,
the way they interact with others. So there is just a lot that you get. Like communication isn't just verbal or like written. It's also like in our mannerism. So you get to see a lot more in person. Yeah.
I'm really bad at reading people's facial expressions, but in general, I think most people can do it to a successfully kind of decent amount.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot you can learn about people from there, a lot about what they like and what they don't like when they're uncomfortable. And I think that's the kind of stuff that you can't really learn online. Like it's a very different kind of friendship you make. It doesn't mean that it's not real.
Yeah.
Like it just means that it's a different kind of thing, because it's like when you meet the person in person, then it's also completely different.
Yeah.
And I think it also like it kind of makes you in a way create a space where people get to know you just from the space you're in, like whatever you put behind the camera and whatever you put in your room. You try to create like a background that can show a little bit of who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually really interesting. And it's something that only happens if you work remotely. Like you want to show as much as you can from like the little things that you have, right?
Yeah, like creating like this persona online. And I guess social media like has this way of letting people just paint the picture. But I guess remote working gives you the opportunity to also show like your colleagues like a day in your life. You get like just a small snippet into your life. But then like the conversations are never enough. Like, oh, how are you doing? I'm good. That was your weekend. Okay, it was great. Okay.
That's very British of you. You're like, I'm great. I'm good. No, it was great. It was good.
I'm good.
Am I?
Have a great day. Bye. so like having that like on a work call is kind of limiting. You don't get to learn a lot more about other people.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, like
it feels like there is this TikTok, like this time countdown, because the meeting you only have like maybe 30 minutes before everyone is tired of the meeting. Everyone wants to go, because I don't really like long meetings. I get tired.
No, I can't take it. No.
So imagine trying to get to know someone on like a work meeting. So I think at ePilot it's encouraged like when you join, you get set up like one-on-ones, try to meet as many people as possible, do like coffee chats. So those are really good opportunities. But how many of those can you do?
Feasibly talking, like you can't do a lot of them. Like you do like 4 or 5 max. And like, for example, a lot of the ones I did were with people that were also from Portugal, so that was just funny. So it was just me speaking Portuguese, but I don't actually remember how to speak Portuguese that well.
Yeah. So in my case, I kind of staggered it. So I didn't, and I guess there were a lot of like onboarding calls too. But over time, you get to just meet people. But then at like a summit, at an event, you get to see a lot more people. Just like relaxed. So I think day to day on a work day, you get to also have those. But this is like the ideal situation.
Exactly.
It's not always like that too.
Yeah, it's also like there's a lot of things. I think it also depends on how a lot of people speak online, right? A lot of like, you usually think more before you send a message than before you talk. That's just human nature. So it's much easier to get to know like how people really think when you're in person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just different in person. And like, I get the height thing. Like there was this guy that I used to work with.
Yeah.
And we did this game. There was actually 2 very funny situations on that one. We did this game of like guess the height.
Yeah.
And one of them, he was from India, but he was living in the Netherlands for I think a year and a half when that happened.
Yeah.
And he made the chart and he made it in inches. And I was like, bro, no one uses inches in the Netherlands. And he's like, no. And I'm like, how did you not know this? You've been there for a year and a half. And the other guy, turns out, was 1.95 meters.
Well, I'm just one shot.
And like we were like, wow, you're tall. So yeah, I think this is mostly what we wanted to talk about, right? Like, is there anything else you want to go over about like any struggles that you've had or like anything of working remotely?
I think we haven't really talked about the good parts.
Oh, that's fair. I think like I have a freedom. I think that like I can just get out and go for coffee.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's something that no one can take away from me. Like I think for one example that I've had was like, let's say I had a 9-to-5 job, right? When the hell am I going to go to the doctor?
Yeah.
Or like to the dentist, which is I guess a doctor, but like a different, you know what I mean? Or like to like the mechanic. I don't even have a car. I don't know what I'm saying. But like, let's say you need to do something, right? These things are open up until 6, but you're working until 6.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a magic to being able to go to IKEA on a weekday.
Yeah.
When people are technically working.
Yeah.
But you get to go to IKEA.
But you're also working too, you know.
Yeah. But I can just go back and work like 2 hours at night. I think that like that is the biggest freedom for me. It's to be like, oh, when can you come to the appointment? Anytime I work from home.
Yeah.
Especially because all my meetings are, because we have people in the a time zone way after Europe. Like all my meetings are at 10 a.m. mostly.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, anytime after 10 a.m. is fine.
Yeah.
Like literally any time is fine.
Yeah. And I guess like the culture of where you work also is important, because like if some places, not everywhere, like I said, there's the ideal world and there's the real world too. So depending on the culture of the company, some might like overwork you too. So it's like a good side could become like a bad side too, in like remote working culture.
Yeah, like I think there's also companies that are hybrid. Like, so for example, like ePilot is mostly remote when it comes to engineering.
Yeah.
But a lot of companies are hybrid. So like, and you have a bunch of people in the office and a bunch of people remote. And I guess a lot of what happens is the people that are remote get passed on promotions, get passed on a lot of things because like they're just not there. Like it's not the same.
Yeah.
So that's also a problem. But I think that like there's a freedom to it. Like I get to like, it is very hard for me to stay in a place where it's just like sound and noise everywhere. So it's like I just get to create my own space, and I get to pet the cat like the whole day. Like I could just pet the cat the whole day.
Yeah.
So we'll like sit on the other chair.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. Like just the good sides, like you said. Especially like with someone, like you said, like you need like space to focus on your work.
Yeah.
Like when you want to block out focus time, because I guess there's a lot of work at the office where a lot of times at the office where like someone just passes by, taps you, you stand up, like you're distracted. So having to switch a lot of context. But but like I said, like there's a real world, there's the ideal world, because like you trade one for the other. You trade the personal interactions for Slack notification.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I think that's what you're saying, and I think you're completely right. It's like it's a trade-off. Like, and what part of it do you prefer?
Yeah.
Like, would you prefer like having the human interaction and like being able to do that every day, or would you prefer the freedom of being able to work from home? And I think that like, I think I prefer the freedom of it.
Yeah.
Like when Amazon tries to deliver a package, I'm home.
Yeah. Except you are the mechanic or something.
Except when I'm at I don't have a car. No, but the reason I said a mechanic was because I used to have really huge issues because I'm like, my car was really bad when I lived in Portugal.
Yeah.
And like I had to go to the mechanic a lot, and I had to go at like 7 because it was at the time I got off work.
Yeah.
And it was like, Sarah, you need to stop doing this. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to come at 7 a.m.? Like, because that's when I leave to go to Porto, and I come back at 7. And it's like, I think it's a massive, massive difference. I think I've also had jobs where took me an hour or something to get to work.
Yeah.
And I've had jobs that took me 10 minutes in a walk. And it's obviously that the 10 minutes in a walk is much better.
Yeah.
So I think the main issue ends up always being the commute.
Yeah.
Like,
people talk about it a lot. Like, but I guess in my case, I've not really had that problem of like a commute. But I think the first job that I did was around like 35 minutes from where I stayed. So it wasn't bad, but like I imagine people waking up by 6 a.m. to get to work by probably 8, 9, depending on like if your office is really far and you have to take like a train.
Yeah, especially if you like, well, for example, let's say you work in London but you live outside of London.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's terrifying. Like when I lived in London back in 2018 as well, and it was like I lived in Mill Hill, which was the last stop in the train that's technically still London.
Well, because London is actually really big. It's big, yeah.
So it was the train that goes to Luton, the airport, and it was the last stop that technically the Oyster card still worked.
Yeah.
So it was really far away. So it took me, and I worked in the Barbican, so it took me an hour to get to work.
Yeah.
And I had to like walk 15 minutes to the station and then hope the Thameslink would arrive. And then take, I think it was like a 40-minute train or 30-minute train and then like a 10-minute subway. So it was like a lot. And I think that broke me and I could never work in offices again.
Yeah. Did you experience like train delays, train cancellations too?
Yeah, but I think that was at the time, at least the Thameslink was always delayed. Okay. Because it's also like it was the train that went to Luton.
Yeah.
So to the airport. So it was more delayed than the average train, I would say, because it's like, I don't know what happens, but like,
Yeah.
that airport is incredible.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad anymore. It got bought by the Spanish. They're really good at building airports. But yeah, I think it's like, what do you prefer? I think, to me, the situation I would be incredibly happy with is like, there is an office, you can go to it if you want.
Yeah, because like I think that's the option that I don't have.
Same.
That I don't like to like. It'd be great if Pilot has like an office in the UK. But
I think we're the only two people in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, I'm coming. Okay, will you come?
We meet somewhere between Birmingham and the UK. I mean, I do live in North London, so it'd be fine.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like just having that option is also good because I guess for me, I start to look for like conferences, start to look for meetups, just to fill that gap of like talking to people physically.
Yeah. Like
talking
to people about nerd shit, like
like, hi, what do you do for a living? I do this, I do this. Oh, this is my card. Okay, I don't have a card, but yeah, this is my LinkedIn. Yeah,
it's fine. I don't have a mechanic.
But yeah, I think I had a card once, but my first company, yeah. But basically, like just going somewhere, get interacting with people.
Yeah.
I think I've started to just look for these kind of events. I think I attended one like recently where I got to meet people, and it was nice. You get like, but we don't get that. But aside from like just the bad and like the middle, there is also like I said, the good sides, which is like we get to do a lot more focused work. Outputs is because you don't have to worry about a lot of things. Like you said, the commutes, you don't have to worry about the commutes. So you get to think about like the actual work that you're doing. You get to jump on calls and actually think about the work that you're doing and put in actual time. Your output is better, but yeah.
I think it's also like there is a friction to doing things that I think like a lot of times it's bad, but a lot of times it's also good.
Yeah.
Like what happens to me a lot is I'm like, okay, Praneet, what the hell? Oh, never mind, I figured it out. And I think that like that has its problems, but it's also good. Yeah. So I think that like a lot of remote work is like, first of all, it depends a lot on, is it a good company that does remote work, or is it just someone that outsources someone to work 12 hours a day, right? That's not our case, but like that's something to look out for.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's like, it's a choice. Like, do you prefer it? Like, do you prefer because it's like, it's not like you're going to be working less. At least you shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to be working less. It's more like it's a different kind of work. Like, how social are you? How much do you need these connections? That will tell you a lot about like, and also I think like if you have kids, for example, like working from home is very different. Like it's much better, right? And much cheaper if you have kids, but I don't. So that's not a concern.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the cat. I have a child. Her name is Salsa. She's great.
Yeah. But I think that like so for you, what helps? Because I one thing that comes up often like in my team is like how we connect remotely. How we also do focus work because of all the pings coming in. Like, oh, we have like this rotation, which is like the first responder in engineering.
Oh, you also have that, yeah.
At ePilot. So it's like someone is focused on like, oh, customer alerts, just helping to remove like a lot of pressure from the team. But there's also like the fact that can be very distracting for even like the regular people. You still see the pings, but you can decide to
ignore it. But you still see it, right?
You still see it. So how do you ensure like that you are able to focus on? Because that's a question that comes up often. Like
I don't have. So you know, like on the dock on Mac, I don't have the little icon for Slack.
Yeah.
So I never know if someone has actually messaged me on Slack. So so like if I'm first responder, then I do have that.
Yeah. Same.
But like if I am not first responder, I want the fact that I'm going on, like if I get a message, like I still have the notifications up top.
Yeah.
But I don't have the constant reminder there that I have 3 unread messages on Slack.
Yeah.
And that helps me be more conscious of when I am going to Slack.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes I don't answer for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But if it's really important, you're going to message me 3 times and then I will answer because I will see it. So like I think that's how I tend to do it because we also want to be more async. I think that's very important for a remote company is to try and be async.
Yeah.
That's how I try to do it is like I don't have the notifications on Slack. Like at the bottom, I don't have any none of them have the number or like the little bubble, nothing.
Yeah, I think I did that. I did that on my phone, but for Slack, for some reason, I had a problem with like my focus on Slack because every single time I found myself going back to Slack. At the point, I had to just like minimize Slack and just start creating like pockets of time where I actually work. Like, okay, focus on work for this 30 minutes. Whatever happens on Slack is fine. Like, for me, there was a point where it was hard to disconnect from Slack because I'm like, something might have gone wrong. I need to check. Something might have gone wrong. Like, is this first responder like mindset?
Yeah. But it's also like, I feel like something will always go wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's the reality of things, especially when you work in a company, like as a product engineer, like our company is very much in contact with the clients because that's just how it is on this market. So it's like something will go wrong for a client.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fine if it waits 10 minutes. 99% of the times. If it's not, they will make a huddle.
Yeah.
Someone will make a huddle and you will have to see it.
And I think
your phone will start to be like, and you're like, no, please stop.
I think the interesting thing is what like the product manager of my team, what she does, like, because I can imagine like someone like whenever I see her calendar, like there's so many meetings.
Oh my God, Christian is absurd. She has so many meetings.
Yeah, so I imagine that like across board. So if like anytime I send her a message and I don't get a response in like one day, I just understand. So in that case, I can see someone that like is trying her best to create focus time. Yeah. So and I try to learn from that too, because you can do your best work when like your mind is free of distractions.
Yeah, definitely. Without the fear, like I don't think I am way less productive on weeks that I am like first responder, not only because I have to fix the issues, but even if there were no issues, you're just always in the back of your mind
that there's something
that may something be wrong, and it's your job to not annoy the whole team about it.
Yeah.
And like so there's a lot to learn there.
Yeah, so I guess remote working, like we've said, there's the middle, there's the bad, there's the ugly. But like the future of remote work, do you think like it's something that will continue, or do you think companies are?
I think that's very dependent by country. Like I think the UK, I think I see more and more companies doing hybrid.
Yeah.
I think that like I wish it would, but I don't know if it's gonna.
Yeah.
Because I think it's also very like it's very much country by like. Portuguese bosses just don't trust that people are doing their job when they're not there.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think that's just as much the case in Germany, for example. So it's very like depending country by country.
Yeah. I think it has actually reduced, like around the pandemic, it was really like a big thing. But over the years, like you said, there's been a big shift from fully remote to like hybrid. You get like this shift in mindset. Some people like prefer to see others, like just like how Elon Musk like called everyone back into the Twitter office, for example. So like you see like this big shift. Some depending on like the ideology of like the executives, like did they think, and like the country, like you said, the culture. Yeah. Do they trust their employees enough to give them this freedom and autonomy and expect that the output will drop? So for example, like I heard like a story of like just a lot of companies, just the thought of introducing the employees coming back to the office, like some staff like just quit and stuff. So I think there's going to be a point where a lot of people are used to the freedom, and like it's a big shift to.
There was this case, I think it was Microsoft, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
That basically said, like, whoever doesn't come back to the office cannot get a promotion.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I don't care. That's fine. Like, and then they just look for another job or something like that. I think that, like, a lot of people quit. Yeah. And it's like, I think a lot of people discovered that it was much better for them, and that was something they wanted to pursue. But I know a lot of people were really happy to get back to the office.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think it's, again, like it's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
And I think what happened, a lot, that was actually really good in general was, at least in the US, I mean, that also happened in Portugal, but I don't know about the UK. But it was like a lot of people that lived in larger cities actually moved out. And went into more of the countryside, and that kind of spread the wealth a little bit. And I think that, like, sadly enough, I think the UK is a big example of that. Germany is not such a big example, to be honest. They do have more bigger cities, but like a lot of countries have one city or two cities that make money, and then everything else is completely different. Like going from London to 30 minutes outside of London is a massive difference.
Yeah.
And then you have like Birmingham and Manchester, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is very good because it allows people to go back to their community, to go back to a community that they feel like they belong more, which then will make businesses open up in that community.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, the biggest positive outcome that I think remote work can have. I mean, no, I think the biggest positive outcome is that like you can hire someone anywhere.
Yeah.
But like besides that, like when it comes to like societal in a country outcome, I think this is a very good outcome that like I feel like a lot of times is kind of ignored.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, but like the businesses in London will close. And I'm like, yeah, but they will open in Birmingham or they will open in Liverpool. Like, people will just go somewhere else because like they didn't want to be here. So I think that's something I have no idea what we were talking about. Oh, the future of remote work. I kind of hope that something like that would happen, and it did happen a little bit in the U.S. So that's really nice. Like, and then those people were like, "Oh, you have to go back to the office." I'm like, no.
Yeah, because like you've moved your entire life.
I live in North Dakota now. Like I can't.
Yeah, then the people that are on ground like get the job. So like it was messed up. Like, I guess because people had moved out, like you said, and there was a lot of distribution. Then I think it even affected me because I was working for a company remotely in the US. Yeah. And then like I didn't get to see my colleagues and all. But then when the company shut down, it was a case of, okay, I need to find somewhere else that is remote. So I guess as the shift started to move from like fully remote to like a hybrid system, you have to be close to. Yeah, you have to be somewhere within like an hour of the place. Yeah, or it's a problem. So I think that was one of the things that was a bit difficult to get like jobs in London from. So the big shift like affected negatively like people that had already moved out where we exactly. So. Like I'm pretty sure this also happened in Lagos, for example, because like a lot of people probably moved out. Yeah. Like it's just like any city that's overcrowded, people just end up moving out, and then like they're not gonna go back. Yeah, like they bought houses. Like so like they have a dog now. Like people have already created lives outside of like they have dogs and like like densely populated like cities. So so I think that's a really good thing. I mean, it has its drawbacks. Again, like a lot of places in like these very crowded, like King's Cross, for example, would like close. Obviously, if a lot of this would happen. Yeah. But it's like, but they would open communities that need the money more than King's Cross, if you know what I mean. Like, so that's what I think about the future of remote work. I really love the idea, like just the benefit of like distributed like wisdom, knowledge, like talent is spread out around the world. Yeah. So like there is just this opportunity for everyone to be able to bring like their ideas, diverse ideas, like discuss on like remote work gives that opportunity. Yeah, I think a lot more voices. Yeah. I think that's also the greatest strength of remote work is that you get to work with people from all over the world. Yeah. And it's not like, like everyone is from different parts of the same country, but it's like people are from all over the world. They have different opinions than you. They have different points of view. And you learn a lot. You grow a lot. Like you become, I think, like, at least in my case, I became a way better person from talking to people from all over, right? I was like born in like the face of Europe or the butt of Europe, depends on where you're looking at it. Yeah. So like it's very, very different. And I think that grows us as humans. Like, but I think like, for example, if you work in London, then it's the same. You can go to the office, but like, like no one in your team, you're going to be the only British one. Like actually my partner's team, there's only one British person. Yeah. But like if you are from Portugal or again from Nigeria or from countries that don't, at least, I mean, at the time Portugal didn't receive a lot of immigration. Yeah. It's like, like you're just going to work with a bunch of white guys from Lisbon. Like, so there's a lot to learn about that. Like there's a lot that we can learn and that we can become better people by working with people from everywhere and understanding other sides of the story. Yeah. So to wrap up here, I think that was a very good like conclusion to it. Very good conclusion. Yeah. Nice. So, very happy about it. So thank you so much for listening in. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.
You've been listening to the podcast for product engineers. Don't forget to subscribe and join us next time.